And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and Odie and I were discussing the upcoming storm. So many of you are concerned about that like we are. Don't be traveling unnecessary tonight after 5 o'clock is our best advice at this point. We'll have more of that coming up as we get this day underway. And we'll updating everyone on what we have. We're going to do a lot of that during the 7 o'clock hour. I hope you'll join us. We're going to go over what we have this morning as well. So stand by for that. That's coming up here in just a few moments. Well, I'm getting reports of some type of noise toward 22nd Avenue is what I got. Most likely, they thought it might be gunshots, but they said they could not rule out fireworks. I just don't see anybody up this time of morning doing fireworks. See y'all? Kind of think it's past that. So that's the latest that we've got near I-20 there. All right, we'll be right back as we get this day underway to look at the weather. We're going to go deeper into this, and we're going to pull up radar. Right now, let's get a good word. Let's go out to Collinsville, get a good word from the Lord up above, and we'll be back to give you an update on the weather.
I heard a story one time about a preacher who was asked to do a funeral for one of the town's politicians. As he was standing next to the casket, eulogizing the man during the message, the preacher declared to the crowd, "Dearly beloved, here lies a man who was full of the truth." And then out of nowhere, somebody yelled from the back, "Yeah, because the truth never came out of him." Well, I pray that such a thing can never be said of us. We are to be people of the truth. The truth should come out of us all the time. But let's be honest, we're tempted every single day to lie. We're tempted to lie to avoid confrontation, to spare someone's feelings, to get ourselves out of an unwanted situation. We've all been guilty of telling that out-and-out, bald-faced lie, but we don't just lie by telling an out-and-out lie. We also lie when we intentionally misrepresent something by omitting a piece of the truth or by exaggerating a piece of the truth. You might say in your defense, "Hey, I didn't lie, I just didn't tell the whole truth." Well, beloved, keep in mind, a half-truth is a whole lie. The Holy Spirit through Apostle Paul tells us in Ephesians 4:25, "Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of us speak truth with his neighbor, for we're all members of one another." So to say it straightforwardly, stop lying and start telling the truth. Beloved, that would make our community so much better. And that's no lie. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I hope you got a good message out of that. Now let's pull up radar and look at what we have at this point. Here we are as we look at radar. All of this to the north of us, Jackson, Tennessee, all this up to Murfreesboro, Nashville, is snow. Anything that you see here that is pink is going to be the wintry mixed with sleet, maybe a tad bit of snow there, but it's a wet thing. That's mostly what we will get. Now, as we get further into this, you saw pictures we posted last night of what was going on in Oxford, covered in snow, and it's that way this morning. Let's see. We're going to show some more of this, but I wanted to, let's go here. Let's just go up to, while we're here, and let you just take a look at what the streets look like in northern Mississippi. Let's go to some cameras here. And let's just go here, I-55, south of, let's just expand that. That's just a frozen camera there. Let's look here. That one's not available. That one is froze over. Boy, I should have picked one of these out before we went live, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's go to switch to video and let you see what this looks like this morning. The travel there, if it's going to work right. Yeah, they got a little traffic backup on that one. As you'll see there, there's lights in the background. There's stall there. Let's pick another camera here. That one doesn't look good. All right, here's a pretty good view here. Switch to video. Boy, that's covered in snow, isn't it? Of course, that's northern Mississippi there, near the Tennessee line is where that's at. Usually you can make this stuff bigger, but it's not. This camera, for whatever reason, let's see, here we go. There we go. There's you a good shot as it comes across this morning. That's what it looks like. One lane of travel being used in all lanes like this. This is I-55 at Church Road, it looks like, where that is, going toward Memphis. right outside of the state line there. So the northern part of the state looks a lot like this. Now, as we'll back out, and you'll see here, these areas here, let me close this. These areas here, let me pull this back up where you can see this. These areas right here, all of this that's got red anywhere on this map is where traffic is kind of at a standstill this morning. That's what we've got. Let's close that where you can see that better. Anywhere there's red, like here near Lewisburg, traffic is kind of moving very, very slow. The rest of the state looks pretty good right now. As we'll see all of that, we'll keep you up to date with this. We'll check back on some more cameras at 7 to let you see. Now, let's go over and visit with what's going on with the National Weather Service. I think I've got that pulled up. Jackson. This is the latest. They were extremely late in putting this out this morning from the National Weather Service. So this is what we have with the wintry mix. No super changes here. I've got this loaded on my webpage. On Facebook page, we're in a level 2 here. Matter of fact, let's just do this. Let's go back over here to the page, pull this up. We can see the full map of what I've got. Let's go here. This is what we've got, the full map here. As you'll see here, level 3 from Greenwood, Mississippi up to Tupelo, all the way to the state line into Tennessee. Now it will move into below south of Tupelo, all the way to Hattiesburg with a level 2. What does it mean? It means we could get very much ice. That's our biggest concern that we're getting with. The roads could be slick. The governor of the state of Mississippi, of course, Tate Reeves, has made this a state of emergency, declared a state of emergency for the state of Mississippi. During the daytime today, we're good. It's after dark when conditions will change. Now, northern Mississippi, that's a whole different ball game. Once you get past Louisville on up toward the rest of the state, it's going to be a little bit different. We'll look at the forecast also. Here's what we've got with the wintry mix, a closer look. This is what we're looking at, the dangerous cold. If you'll notice there, from Columbus, Mississippi to Clark County, just about where Shabuti is, all the way over to Natchez, we're at a level 3 here, which is significant. Low temps of 10 to 15 likely, negative 10 to negative 1 on the wind chill side. Now, that's horrific, as we'll talk about. Odie knows a little bit more about it than I do, as the warming station is going to be open for the next couple of nights. We'll talk about that after 7 o'clock. Very important, as we all know. For whatever reason, sometimes power gets turned off. Maybe somebody couldn't make their payment. Doesn't make them a bad person. They don't need to be cold, and that's what this is set up for, people that need it. Now, they've got rules. You can't be smoking in there. You can't be drinking in there. It's a clean family atmosphere, and that's what it's going to be kept at, and it will be supervised by police as well. And that's the way it should be. We'll get more into that this morning. Now, as we come across and we look at the Bama line, let's look at this. This is what Alabama is putting out. Your 6 p.m. today, as it comes out of Mississippi. As I said, we'll start around 5 o'clock today in Mississippi. Let's zoom this up a little bit bigger here where you can see this better. Here's Demopolis on the east side of us. It's 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. Mississippi, you can say 5 p.m. until 6 in the morning there. That it's going to be watched carefully there. And as with Mississippi, that northern portion of Alabama is a little bit higher level than Tuscaloosa and Birmingham back our way. It is. We don't see these conditions very often, but when we do, we don't know how to handle it. We go buy all the bread we can, right? We do need to put out the bread and milk alert at this point, don't we? If you ain't got it yet, it might not be good. You might not get any. We're just being honest about what goes on with that. So that's where we are with all of this. Now let's go back to radar, and let me show you here Meridian. Let's pull this up. Here's the radar, and again, the pink is the snow. The wintry mix, and the blue color here is going to be snow. Let's turn off radar. Let's go right here and turn off radar for just a moment so you can see this. Now, these different colors. This here is going to be a winter weather storm warning. That's a storm warning. This is a winter weather advisory, is the purple. That's the difference in between the two. As we go to Lauderdale County, and this will cover basically all counties around us, we're sitting with a winter weather advisory, a wind chill advisory, and a hard freeze warning. Let's just look at this wind chill advisory of what this has to say. Wind chills are expected as low as 0 from the winter weather advisory. Freezing rain expected, total ice accumulations of a light glaze. So they're not saying it'll be an inch, 2 inches, anything like that, but that's enough to make bridges impassable for our area. Slick roads, curves, anything like that. Low-lying areas that have limbs on them. It's going to be rough there. This goes from 6 p.m. tonight until tomorrow morning to 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 a.m. tomorrow. So that's the same thing as Alabama as we're watching it. This hard freeze warning as we look at this. Temps are going to be around 10 degrees. Now, we got a very, very cold front here at the beginning of the week, and then again another one coming in at the end of the week. It's almost going to be just unbearable. Make sure that you put pets inside the best you can. Get hay. Check on your livestock. Most certainly, if you live in an area and you know somebody's elderly, doesn't get out much, check on them. We've got sound. It is, you may have been there at the beginning before we turned it on. You may have just turned it on. But we've got so much to look for. Make sure that you check on anyone around your neighborhood that doesn't get around good is my whole point on that. We want to make sure they're okay. Check, and when I say that check on them is make sure they don't have anything against a curtain. We lost a mobile home in Clark County. I believe it was last night. Horrible fire. Total loss. Lost everything they had. Now, we don't know what caused it, but we don't want to take any chances. When you check on the elderly, make sure there's nothing touching any window curtain or anything like that, because this can be just like that. And we're going to see more and more fires over the next few days. It happens every time we have cold weather, people doing what they can to keep warm. And this is going to be an extreme of what we have coming, so we want you to be prepared in all ways. Well, let's just get into the rest of the forecast of what we have here. Let me get over and fix this so I can show everything else. For whatever reason, I didn't turn this on. Just like me, isn't it? All right, let's get back here and get past this, the small stuff. Today, as we look at the record highs and record lows, this is what we had back in 1937. It was 78. Rump row. In 2011, it was 15 degrees. Yeah, it was early when I was working on that. Now, as we slide down, let me get caught back up with where we are and what we're going to be watching. This is what we've got for the next few days here as we look at this cold front. Way out here to our west, it's a little bit warmer, but it's nowhere near us. Here's our temps as we roll into today. 40 for a high at best. 18 tonight in the Meridian area. And as we move around on this, as we go out to the west, it's going to be 16 tonight as we look to Newton. As we go northward, it'll be kind of like that also. I think we got 19 maybe in Clark County, and as we go on up toward Louisville, somewhere around 15 for tonight. 12 degrees tomorrow night. Look at that. I don't care who you are, that's cold weather. And it's going to be tough on folks. Pipes are going to burst. Plumbers are going to be busy for the next few days. We all know that is coming. Tomorrow, barely getting above freezing. Barely. But every night, well below freezing each night as we go into this. 23 on Wednesday. And as I mentioned toward the end of the week, another cold spell. Look at that. 44 for high on Friday, but the nighttime low is going to be 16 and 19 on Saturday night. Now, as we go another week into this, we start to see it warming up because we're getting more rain here. And those are normal temperatures for rain. We won't be getting any sleet or anything with that as we head toward the end of the month, winding out the month of January. Fishing forecast for today, if you can handle it, if you are man enough to go out and stand on that bank or ride in a boat, whoo, your best major time to fish today began at 4 a.m., went through about 6. Your next major time is going to be 4 this afternoon through about 6. Again, you can get a little wintry mix out there. The wind's going to be 10 to 15 with gusts as high as 20. I don't want to be on the water, do you?
Nowhere near.
If you've ever been to an Easter Sunday service out at Lake Okeechobee, nope. Don't want to do that. It's kind of chilly there. As we look at our deer hunting forecast, here's what we have on that today. As we look across it, first major time was early this morning before daylight, around 2:30 to 4:45 a.m. Your next time is going to be this morning around 9:40 till 11 o'clock. I highly suggest a shoot house with windows and a heater, a big heater. They're very nice. It makes it comfy while you're out there. Brought to you by our friends at Collinsville Meat when it comes to all that we do there. Good morning, Bill Woods. Glad to see you joining us as well. So many of you up and stirring as this day begins. It's going to be a lot going on. There are no school closings. I see a lot of folks asking about that right now. There are no school closings at this point. To my knowledge, the parade in downtown Meridian is going to still take place as planned at noon. That is the plan. Now, as we look at the temperature right now, we're sitting at 25, a wind chill of 17 degrees. Makes you want to go for a morning jog there, doesn't it?
Just a little one.
Yeah, I don't think I could run that fast. Y'all have to come pick me up. Chilly it is, without a doubt. So those are where we are this morning. As we just glance quickly at a couple of headlines as this day begins, U.S. firefighter jets. They've shot down some anti-cruise missiles. Well, we're getting into a mess there as we get into all what's going on in the Yemen targeting boats. The United States is firing back at that. Miss Colorado has made history. The first time in history a U.S. soldier has ever been crowned Miss America. That is quite the deal. Here she is right here. Pictures from Daily Mail there. Beautiful girl. And she is now Miss America.
Congratulations.
Yeah, hangs around jets and all that kind of stuff there. A big honor to become that. Here's another picture of her in her evening gown. I guess that's what you call that, isn't it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Do y'all want me to leave that up there longer? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I think I heard somebody say
And here she is in the cockpit. There she is. She goes from one extreme to the next. Very ladylike. We wish her luck as she heads off to be Miss America. That's a big deal for anybody. No, we have not heard from Naked Man this morning. I think he's staying indoors, the best we know.
Don't get confused with Naked Woman today.
Yeah. Don't get them confused. You could, because it is cold. Iowa. No matter how bad it is up there, and it's a snowstorm coming, they're headed in to vote. The caucus is underway. I don't quite understand caucuses because they're so different than the way we vote.
Yeah.
But that is going on today. Some say that before it all starts, 60% chance Trump will come out the winner. We'll see what becomes of that. As soon as straw, is that what they call it? The straw results? Straw poll. It's way different than what we do. Don't quite understand it. We'll be right back. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. And welcome back as we get ready for a day. Now, during the daytime today in the East Mississippi area, all should be good. All forecasts indicate it will be after 5 before we start really seeing anything here. We'll get into all of that this morning here beginning at 7 in just a moment or two to let you know the forecast and what the lows will be in your area. We're going to break that down here in just a moment as we get this underway. But most of all, if you don't have to travel tonight after 5 p.m., don't. There will be a few of you who have to go to work, but the less travel, the less accidents there are. Dedicated duck hunters this morning, Donna said. It's dedication. Oh, Janelle, I don't know who you'll see this morning running. We'll check on that. Good luck to all that. Anyway, we'll be back in just about 5-6 minutes from now as we'll break into all the details and break this weather down for you even further as we begin the morning show at 7. Join us, won't you? We'll be right back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.